cozy moments to put yourself in, and the opening chapters of books I've written. So, get comfortable, grab a blanket, and settle in while I share tonight's story. Tonight's story is called All You Have to Do Is Ask. It's a cute, fluffy reader insert where you can imagine whatever main character you want to. This story reminds us it's okay to ask for help once in a while. I hope you can enjoy it. Let's begin. He's the cutest when he smiles. Your heart feels as if it will pound right out of your chest when you're the reason for his grin flashed your way in the middle of studying the outline of the report you're writing up while staring at a blinding screen for far too long. He chuckles any time you make a mistake, and his eyes wrinkle and his nose scrunches before he corrects your error with a soft tone and more patience than you ever expected. He's not your boss, and not even the supervisor of the department, but he has been in charge of helping new hires at the office you began working at a few months prior. Though what should have been only a week of getting you settled in and set up with your workload, task, and anything else the head of the department likes to throw on his workers last minute, has turned into him keeping a close eye on you in case you need a little extra assistance. Just until you get the hang of things, he promises. But by now, you have a hard time believing it, and even sometimes you find yourself hoping it's just an excuse to get closer to you. You should feel a bit embarrassed. He's always coming to your aid when you forget an attachment or pointing out corrections before your supervisor notices. But it's hard to turn away his help when his smiles make your heart flutter and his kindness makes it so easy to play the part of clumsy or forgetful new employee. Did you remember to email the updates on your latest report? He asked while walking past your desk to make his way to the copy machine, a stack of papers in hand and a grin on his lips because he already knows the answer. It's important. I'll get right on that, you inform him, immediately clicking away to pull up your contacts on your computer as the heat rushes to your face for being so forgetful. Thanks. You hear his chuckle even after he's passed, but you're thankful he's observant enough to keep you in line, wondering if he's the same way with all of your other coworkers. Maybe you're too anxious over making sure you don't make another mistake he won't manage to catch. But part of you wishes he isn't just being nice and helpful to the newest employee. Here, let me get that, he says, rushing to your side 2 days later when you have managed to jam the only printer on your entire floor. You step aside, the warmth of embarrassment flooding your cheeks as he rolls up his sleeves and gets to work unsticking the mess of paper you've somehow made. Thanks, you say with a voice so quiet he almost misses it. You're a lifesaver. I try my best, he teases, grin wide as ever, and your body feeling tingling all over from the sight of him. A few weeks pass, and you try to handle things on your own, however. Even if you enjoy his help every now and then, you do want to try your best so you don't end up getting under his skin for his nicest to wear off. You also don't want it to get around that you're more trouble than you're worth, so you leave post-its stuck to your monitor with reminders folders for all the attachments and emails you need to send. Scribble down important times and dates of meetings and deadlines on the calendar resting over your desk. And even finish your latest report a day ahead of schedule. You feel the pride swarming in your chest after a while. And even if you admit that you missed his visits to your desk to check up on you, as well as spotting his soft smile or hearing his lighthearted chuckle, it's nice to feel like you're not so new and trying to get a grip on even simple tasks. You begin to feel like a member of the team, working hard to please your supervisor, and you even get a quick good job from your boss before leaving one afternoon. Though the confidence doesn't last long when you sit down at your desk one morning to prepare to send the latest report to your supervisor, only to find the document wiped clean with no trace of a copy in an existing folder, and no signs of it accidentally being deleted in the recycle bin. Your heart sinks, wide eyes staring at the screen for a few moments as you click away to check every occupied space in your hard drive. Stomach twisting at the seconds pass on the report you spent a week working hard on is nowhere to be found. You gulp and close the document, only to open it once again, spotting a white page with a blinking cursor ready to begin typing. You feel as if the air has been sucked from your lungs, knowing you trashed your notes the day before when you thought the report was ready to be sent. How could this happen? How could you be so careless? The doubts flood you over and over as you continue to stare at the screen with a furrowed brow and slack jaw. It's not until he walks past that you pull yourself from your trance, hearing your name being called in what sounds like a muffled voice once, twice, and 3 times until you finally snap your gaze in his direction. "Everything okay?" he asks, curious and concerned when you don't reply. He takes a step closer to press his hands to the desk. "What's wrong?" Your heart sinks even lower. You were doing so well. You were getting the hang of things, and now the report is gone and due in a day, and you have no notes to start over. "Yes," you blurt out before you can stop yourself, forcing a smile that his frown insists he doesn't believe. "Yes, yeah, yep, I'm great." Nervous laughter falls from your lips to have him wrinkling his brow, but he doesn't push the issue. "Alright, well, if you need anything." "Got it, thanks." Your fake smile widens and he hesitates for a moment before walking away. "You can fix this," you tell yourself, trying to calm your nerves while you reach for the small garbage bin next to your desk in hopes that there are a few notes scribbled on paper you tossed the night before. But of course, the trash is always emptied Wednesday nights, and there's a fresh bag greeting you when you look inside. Huffing, you slump down in your chair, considering spending your morning looking for new jobs because you just know when your report hasn't arrived by the following morning, your boss is going to fire you. Just when you are getting decent paychecks, saving up for a new place to live, planning to get away from your annoying, messy roommate you try to avoid at all costs, and hey, maybe even buy yourself a new pair of heels while you're at it. You can't help but to groan as your head falls to your hands, mentally saying bye-bye to that apartment with the view you had your heart set on, immediately feeling sorry for yourself until his words replay in your mind. You know you could ask him for help, but how could he even fix your mistake? Your report is missing, your notes are trashed, and there's a possibility possibility if you involved him, he could get disciplined for your mistake as well. The last thing you want to do is get the sweet, helpful guy that assisted you more times than you deserved in trouble right along with you. Still, you have no other options. He did offer, you tell yourself, rising from your desk on feet that won't budge until you work up enough courage to move. Your legs begin to shake and you wonder why you're so worked up and just asking for help. You know you don't want to be a problem, something annoying to get under his skin. But he did offer. You remind yourself once again. It takes you twice as long to make your way to his desk, wishing your knees weren't shaking so much, praying your heart stops pounding so hard. You spot him with a phone to his ear and a pen in hand, writing down a few things on paper a moment before he notices your presence. He smiles your way and you feel a bit sick to your stomach, as well as a bit disappointed you'll never witness his smile again once you tell him the news and you're fired over your mistake. Bye-bye, sweet and helpful coworker. You refrain from pouting while waiting patiently for him to finish his phone call, and it seems as if he speeds up the conversation with his client with a promise to get back to them before placing the phone on the hook with a click. Everything okay? He asks just as before, smile fading when he senses your hesitation and the fact that your eyes have fallen to the floor because you're too embarrassed to face him. You begin to whisper, seeing him shift his weight from the corner of your eye to turn his chair towards you. Need help? When you gathered the courage to glance toward him, his brows are raised a bit, and when he stands is when you lower your head once again. He questions with a chuckle, watching you nibble on your bottom lip and shift from one foot to the other. I messed up, you exhale, closing your eyes for a moment. Big time. How? He steps closer before crossing his arms over his chest, and a wave of overwhelming embarrassment flooding your body and a rush of heat. You blurt out the words in a jumbled sentence, telling him your report was finished, informing him you tossed the notes before heading home for the night before, filling him in on your shock to see the whole thing gone when you arrived that morning, and even spilling how scared you were to tell him because you didn't want to get him in trouble as well if he was involved. The air has escaped your lungs by the time you're finished, and he stands staring, taking it all in, as well as the sight of you wide-eyed with your bottom lip trembling, wondering just how hard you're working to keep yourself together before he offers a simple shrug. Okay, let's take a look, is all he says, voice calm as ever before he strolls over to your desk while you hurried behind him. He takes a seat in your chair, then straightens his tie, pushes back his sleeves, and concentrates on the computer screen with a few clicks of the mouse. A heaviness settles in your chest, and you swear the nausea will get the better of you as you wait for him to do whatever magic he's planning. And the moment his smile returns to his lips is when a split second of relief washes over you. There it is. You found it. Rushing to his side, you nearly bump his shoulder trying to get a view of the screen. There, you spot the report you had worked so hard on, complete and ready to be sent with only a few seconds of work from him. Oh my God, I could kiss you. Your voice travels a bit farther than you would have liked, earning a few awkward glances from coworkers sitting at their desks nearby while he chuckles and shakes his head. Is this what was bothering you? he asked. You thought your report was gone forever. Yes, you groaned, shoulders slumping and head falling. I was so scared, I just knew I was going to be fired. I didn't know what to do. Well, for starters, he tells you, rising from your chair, and you stand straight up to follow his lead. You should have come to me sooner. Sometimes documents get wiped when the system forgets to automatically save, but you can always find them in the temporary folders. I should have thought of that. I'm so dumb sometimes. You're not dumb. Laughter falls from his lips as he shakes his head once again. We've all made mistakes, and we all need help sometimes. You've helped me so much since I started. I didn't want to annoy you. Your voice lowers as you admit your worries, but he raises a hand to dismiss them away. You can never annoy me. I'm here to help, he tells you. Same smile forming over his lips that makes your body weak. All you have to do is ask. Thanks, you really saved me here. He nods in understanding before letting you get back to sending your report, but not before you reach his arm to keep him for a moment. Can I make it up to you? You've really done so much for me. The least I could do is buy you a coffee or something. There's a certain surprise lighting up his eyes you've never seen as he looks down at you, pressing his lips together before the corners curl, and he agrees a second later without an ounce of hesitation. The two of you find yourself at a cafe a few blocks from work after you clock out, where you both have ordered your favorite flavor of tea to drink while sharing a raspberry pastry. You settle for a table near the window to watch the people pass by with their umbrellas beneath the sudden afternoon shower, lucky to have made it on time to keep from getting wet, as well as have an excuse not to leave as quickly. You enjoy each other's company, making small talk while you slip in a few more thank yous because you couldn't be more grateful for his help. He smiles and nods each time, the shyness evident in his face with every sign of your appreciation, and somehow it makes talking to him much easier outside of work. Maybe I can take you out next time, he says while chewing on the last bite of the pastry while you sip your tea through a grin. Somewhere proper, like a date, you ask before you can stop yourself, and he bites his lip for a moment to hide his eagerness. Do you want it to be a date? Do you? He smiles at you, answering a question with a question. It's that same smile that makes you weak in the knees once again, and you're blurting out words before you even have time to consider what you're saying, thanks to how irresistibly cute you find him. Because I do. His smile widens, your heart drums wildly in your chest. Good, is all he says. Me too. Well, you begin, finding a sudden confidence from his words. If you want a date, all you have to do is ask.